Yo, yo, let me join, man. Let me join.
X Maxwell. Now this is the legacy of the new RTX 2070 needs to live up to what extent can it deliver? That's the question I'm answering today, or at least attempting to answer. You see, the problem with reviewing any RTX product in the here and now is exactly the same as it was when we looked at the 2080 and the 2080 Ti. There's a ton of new tech in these GPUs, but little to no software that uses them outside of some demos. So take ray tracing, for example. Now at the RTX launch event, we did actually get to see some early demos and games running on 2080 Ti hardware, so at least there was some idea of performance targets and whatnot. But the 2070 only offers around 60% of the ray tracing power of the 2080 Ti, so we're kind of left in the dark here about how real-life performance is going to shape up. Though Battlefield 5's recommended specs include the 2070, so maybe we'll be okay, but right now we don't know. DLSS, though, NVIDIA's extraordinary upscaling technology, well, we can at least benchmark that, and the specs look impressive. And it kind of needs to be impressive because in common with the RTX 2080, standard 3D performance is actually closely matched to the last gen NVIDIA card that's one rung higher on the stack. So the RTX 2080 is very similar in frame rate terms. Yeah, as expected, it's close to the 1080. But in other ways, this new 70 series card is very different from this process. It's not a cut down RTX 2080 in the way that the 1070 was a pared back 1080. It's actually based on a whole new chip, TU106. This one is around 78% of the cores of the 2080 and 75% of its ray tracing power. But there are some commonalities between 2070 and 2080 that actually no cutbacks have been made at all. There's still a 256-bit memory interface, and both cards deliver a prodigious 448 gigabytes per second of memory bandwidth. And as you can see from the specs, Turing, well, it still has that cubic-core deficit against Pascal when comparing 2070 to 1080. Architecture is considerably more efficient, vastly improved memory caching, and it's silicon based. So the card we were sent for review is the remarkable MSI Gaming Z8G version of the RTX 2070. It's a bit of a monster in pretty much every single way. It's big, it's heavy, has a custom PCB, high quality materials throughout, and an accomplished cooler. The TU106 chip isn't that much smaller than 1080 Ti's, about 445 square millimeters versus 471, so a good cooling solution is needed, especially when this version of the card comes with a remarkable 210 MHz factory overclock. More on that in a bit. Ports-wise, we get the same 3 display ports at HDMI 2.0 as the Founders Edition, plus the USB-C virtual link. The FE card only requires one 8-pin power input, but for this one, yup, you guessed it, there's an extra 6-pin input. Even with that big factory OC in place, the this RTX 2070 sits below 70 degrees Celsius under load. But whether it's the best 2070 to buy, well, pricing is the thing really. But it's the performance that's more the thing, right? Okay, so for most of my benchmarks, I've detuned the Gaming Z here to Founders Edition clocks to ensure parity with my other Founders Edition benchmarks. And also, as a ton of 2070s on the market do actually come already with some kind of mild OC out of the box. But to begin with, I'm going to take a look at DLSS performance because this is going to be a key Turing technology and the impact could be particularly profound on the RTX 2070. So let's begin with Final Fantasy 15 here, with the 2070 stacked up against 1080 and 1080 Ti performance. Out of the box, comparing standard TAA rendering, the 2070 already beats the 1080 by an above average 13%, but looking at DLSS, there's a 37% improvement to performance, which in turn offers a 21% boost over GTX 1080 Ti running the same content. In the Epic Infiltrator demo, 2070's apples to apples lead over 1080 extends to a somewhat more like 19%, but DLSS adds an additional 42% performance, giving a 32% boost over 1080 Ti. Okay, so there may be some shenanigans here with regards to Turing versus Pascal comparisons. But if we're looking at DLSS delivering a 35 to 40% improvement, something we see in both demos, well, the potential here is remarkable. And an important takeaway here is that DLSS boosts are actually pretty uniform across all RTX cards. The 2070 might have a lower spec and fewer of the deep learning tensor cores, but it has the horsepower to run DLSS at full pelt. NVIDIA has accrued plenty of support for DLSS already, which we will be looking at in time. But I do think that these demo numbers are credible. DLSS in 4K.
We need to locate a bomb. Drone has located a bomb. located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
I have you covered. Stay close. I have you covered.
A really big fucking hole.
I have you covered. Stay close. Time to move forward. Follow me. We have this.
Loading mag! Reload.
Thunder's next. I missed it.
One op 4 remaining.
In garage.
User is online and active.
Proceed slowly!
Op 4 eliminated.
What's that full King Ducky?
We need to locate a bomb.
I went bedroom.
Drone has located a bomb. Ten seconds to go. 5 seconds before insertion. Proceed to bomb's location and defuse it.
Changing mag. I'm coming for you.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Line set.
diffuser is now secured.
I'm out of ammo. We can push forward. Stay behind me.
You must recover the diffuser.
Changing back!
Down to one friendly. Op 4 eliminated all friendlies. Need to use your drone to locate a bomb.
That went basement.
Your drone has found a bomb. Drone has located a bomb. 10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
You fig idiot.
I'm out of ammo! Rifle field deployed.
Some serious drama.
You have dropped the diffuser.
Reload!
Drone is ready. Stay behind me. We have it.
One friendly operator remaining. The diffuser has been recovered. We have been eliminated. Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
My beautiful evil eye.
Camera feed up and running.
Is that... ATS active in this sector.
New feed activated.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Stay clear of ATS line of fire. Evil eye on watch!
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds and counting.
ATS.
Bomb located by Op 4.
Cover me!
Changing mag!
Doorway trapped. Stay clear of blast zone. Device primed. Keep an eye on door. EDD mounted. Let them come.
You have been exposed. Op 4 has located a bomb. You know what to do. You're exposed. One friendly remaining. The bomb diffuser has been successfully deployed. Mission failed. All friendlies were eliminated.
They maybe try some CTV. It's a little easier to hold.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Deploying ADS. You can stop worrying about grenades now.
Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb.
Reloading! Cover me!
Bomb location compromised.
Deployed
Plan
and ready to
accordingly.
go.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds. Bomb located by Op 4.
nitro cell. Nitro.
You're mine, pagliasso.
Reload! Heartbeat sensor activated.
Op 4, last operator standing.
Reloading.
Just hold it, man. Stay there.
Loading new mag.
Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Rescue from Tarkov.
Secure the bombs.
Here's the plug, ready to go. You can stop worrying about grenades now.
It's nitro.
10 seconds left. Op 4 has located a bomb. Plan your defenses accordingly. 5 seconds. Op 4 has located a bomb. If you remain in this zone, you will be detected by hostiles. Your location has been compromised.
Reload! Deploying sensor!
Enemy drone is coming in for a scan. Someone exposed you.
Ignite nitro!
Op 4 found a bomb. You must defend it. One friendly remaining.
Like, oh my god, that foot just fucking popped right there.
Op 4 is defusing a bomb. You need to disable their diffuser. Mission failed. All friendlies have been neutralized.
Banash.
Jackal. Justice for Ahmed.
I love my wife. You fucking there.
We need to locate a bomb. Ten seconds to insertion. Be advised your drone has located a bomb. Insertion in 5 seconds. You've located a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Another day, another mountain.
The diffuser is no longer in your possession.
Need to reload!
Bomb has been located. One friendly operator remaining. We have been eliminated. We need to locate a bomb. Drone has located a bomb. Be advised, your drone has located a bomb. Seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Drone is ready. Enemy detected. Second floor.
Drew, be careful. Legion's on the hall to your left. He was over there. No, he was like right where you're standing. That's where he killed me. Yeah, get him, Drew. Get him! Go, yeah, Drew!
4 remaining.
Echo's right here on ping.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
You guys see it's half bread, yeah. Okay, Google. Take screenshot.
We need to locate a bomb. Your drone has found a bomb.
Pinche perro.
10 seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to insertion. Proceed to bomb the location and defuse it.
Reload!
I'm dry!
Bro, what the fuck?
Drone is a go. Drone ready. Hostiles detected. Second.
Get fucked! That's for you, Drew!
The diffuser diffuser is no longer in your possession. You located a bomb. One friendly operator remaining. One Op 4 remaining.
Drone activated.
Op 4 eliminated all friendlies. Secure the bombs.
EDD mounted. Let them come.
Doorway barricaded.
We're ready for company.
Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly.
Stay clear of blast zone. EDD prime. Stand clear.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds left.
Don't reinforce here. Reinforce over
Op
here.
4 has located a bomb.
Laying out the welcome mat.
Oil's in a lot.
Macho.
Op 4 has located a bomb. You know what to do. You have been identified.
Contact! Second floor!
Bro.
One Op 4 remaining.
So sorry, my bad.
Reloading! Needle set.
What do you mean that was sus?
down to 15 seconds. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Drew, you walked in
That
front
was
of
a
my
nice
bullets. I didn't mean to kill you.
ace, bro. You killed Drew and 4 of the other team. What an ace. Where did I go wrong and lost Drew, and now he's blue toilet.
Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected.
Right, keep an eye on the door. Ambush set. Stay needles in position.
Jammer.
Be advised, a bomb location has been compromised.
Jammer initiated.
Where did Drew go? Rough piece of balls.
Shallow.
Down to
Reinforce
10
here.
seconds. Bomb location compromised. Plan accordingly. 5 seconds left.
Reinforce
Bomb
there.
located by
I
op.
will.
Drew, no! Drew, stop! Drew, stop! Drew, no, no, no.
No. Drew.
Oh, good dog, Drew. Good dog.
That's one of my main strats on this map.
It's called the Drewinator 5000, by the way. That's his strat, man.
EDD mounted. Let them come. Device primed. Keep an eye on door. Needle set.
Yeah, closet sex. Ah!
On stairs, on stairs. What the fuck, dude? How are they on stairs?
Drew, you gotta go out. Drew, you
Drew,
gotta go
Jackal,
out.
see your left. He's breaking in. I see him. Jackal's on clean.
Fuck you, Drew. This is why we TK'd.
Drew, wall bend.
Someone is tracking you.
Drew, if I die.
One friendly remaining.
Drew, you need to like not be in the same place.
Op 4 has placed a diffuser near a bomb. Destroy it. All
Nigga.
friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
We need a mirror. Could you use mirror, please? Oh, good. Okay, we're good.
Protect the bombs.
Ambush set. Stay clear.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds and counting. Bomb located by Op 4.
Wall secured!
Enjoy the view. Ambush set. Stay clear.
Secure the wall! Doorway trapped. Stay clear of blast zone.
Get the fuck out of here!
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
C4 prime. Detonating. Impact out.
Nitro.
One Op 4 remaining.
Carrier, that was carrier.
Down to 15 seconds. Time expires in 10 seconds. 5 seconds left. One friendly operator remaining.
So
Your time limit
close.
has been reached. Secure the bombs.
Ready for company.
Wall secured. Ambush set. Clear.
Deploying welcome mat.
Be advised, a bomb location has been compromised.
Stay clear of blast zone. Device primed. Keep an eye on door. Device primed. Keep an eye on door.
Down to 10 seconds.
Laying out the welcome mat.
5 seconds to insertion.
Ambush set. Stay clear.
Op 4 has located a bomb.
Loading. Doorway secure. Impact out. their meridian.
Wall fortified!
Just a little trick.
To your right, like the right of that doorway. Of course he gets fucked.
One friendly operator remaining. Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it. Mission critical. Bomb diffuser activated. Located the diffuser. Destroy it. One Op 4 remaining. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure.
Can I please use fuse?
Drew, let him use fuse.
I'll ace.
We need to locate a bomb. Seconds to insertion. Insertion in 5 seconds. A bomb must be located and defused. You located a bomb.
Run out. That was Jaeger.
No way.
no longer in your possession.
Jaeger's literally stayed by that window like the whole time. Okay, Jaeger right there.
Friendly, last operator standing. The diffuser has been secured. 15 seconds remaining. 10 seconds. 5 seconds remaining. All friendlies have been eliminated. secure the bombs.
Setting trauma package.
Device prime, keep an eye on door. Ambush set, stay clear.
Unfold from wire.
Can you make some rotation rolls between sites? Right, on my ping there, and,
EDD primed. My evil eye has your own jammer.
10 seconds.
Moving trap.
5 seconds and counting. Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Razor wire up.
Op 4 located a bomb. Protect it.
Initiating jammer.
Down to 15 seconds. Op 4 is defusing a bomb. You need to disable their diffuser. Located the diffuser. Destroy it. 1 on 4 remaining. Friendly, last operator standing. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure. Secure the bombs.
Time to arm run.
Down to 10 seconds.
Position device.
5 seconds left.
Device primed. Keep an eye on door.
Be advised, a bomb location has been compromised. Bomb located by Op 4.
Stand clear of window. Doorway trapped. Stay clear of blast zone. Enemy contact. First floor. Enemy located. Second floor. Enemy spotted.
One friendly operator remaining. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure. Secure the area. Keep the bombs protected. Be advised, Op 4 has found a bomb. Insertion. Down to 5 seconds.
Walls, reinforce! Device primed. Keep an eye on door.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for hostile action.
Device set. EDD mounted. Let them come. Got someone! Place. Place device.
I'm dry.
last operator standing. Op 4 has placed a diffuser near a bomb. Destroy it. All friendlies were eliminated. Mission failure. Drone has located a bomb. Ten seconds to insertion. 5 seconds to go. You found a bomb. Make your way to its location and defuse it.
Sweeping for electronics. Bomb located.
You located a bomb.
Setting charge.
Down to one friendly. Op 4 eliminated all friendlies.
at the studio. So he says, "Hi, time to clear some stuff up, a thread. Yes, I am leaving Void. Sadly, I spent the last few weeks mulling it over, and it really is the right thing to do for me and my family. No, this was not some conspiracy by higher-ups as part of pushing towards Siege PvP. As stated previously, I haven't worked with them for months. So my best guess is that they wanted to show off what they're working on, and PvP is more complete." He says it's just a guess. He was not fired, he was not forced out, literally 100% his own decision based on circumstances at the moment. His health is fine, his family's fine, he's not suffered a heart attack or have severe cardio issues. While he does have a congenital heart defect, the My Heart tweet was purely metaphorical. And I'm just going to open up a new link here, because after that PvP event, this guy, who the community has been engaged with for quite a long time, put out a tweet that just says, "My heart." And I took that as his heart was fucking broken after seeing the absolute tragedy that was the current state of Ready or Not. So he continues, he just simply doesn't have the time anymore. He moved out of his parents' place, graduated college, got married, had a kid. 2019 was intense for me. If all of that shit happened in 2019, damn, it's a big year. Leave a heart on that one. But I don't want to blame my family for being the reason why I'm not involved anymore, because then people will start targeting them for retribution. This is the internet. I have seen that shit happen to other creators. It's fucking terrible. He says, "Being such a public figure within the company puts a huge strain on you. After the last tweets were fired off, I listened to what people said. Hearing, 'I paid money because easy is in this,' puts a huge boulder on your shoulders." And unfortunately, that just tends to happen. If you back money because some certain person that you respect or look up to is involved in some capacity, that puts pressure on that person, no doubt about it. The writing's on the wall for me. If the game does poorly, I'm an easy target for a scapegoat and or a reason for people to dismiss the team. Oh well, they were just a bunch of modders anyway. Who would have trusted them? That's true. He says he doesn't want to feel guilty about that. Fair enough. I can respect that. But now here's where we go a little bit deeper. I put a shit ton of effort into the game. I spent 60 plus hours a week on it, on top of school, for a period of time. Literally all day in front of a computer. I became nocturnal to adapt to the Oceania locale of the team. Yet I was low on the totem pole and doing UI things. Not even memeing here, I kinda was low on the totem pole, and yes, I did UI things. Despite doing more than just programming, I also did community engagement, co-wrote a level design bible, helped design the game's features, wrote about a third or more of the game's system's architecture, assisted with giving direction to voice actors, etc., etc. I wasn't a director. I had a bigger say than most of the other contractors, but I was still a contractor, and my opinion was treated as such. For example, the gameplay trailer. I wrote a scripted gameplay trailer centered around the port level. I pushed hard for this, but I was shut down. I still don't think the trailer came out as good as it should have. I'm gonna hit a like here. I was also told to stay off the public Discord and Reddit. The situation is incredibly frustrating for me because despite voicing my thoughts about how to right the ship, they were ignored. It's like everyone lives in a bubble where they ignore Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, and Discord, and I don't think that's the right way to do things. That is one of the main criticisms that we've had about this dev team, is the fact that they are so fucking silent. They are not transparent. They are not open. Their communication has basically been non-existent, outside of a few times where they have to go out and put some things out to try and get pre-order numbers. This is the first tweet that caught my attention, because he actually added me in it. I posted a video from Big Fry TV, don't remember which one, and said something to the effect of, well, he's a bit hyperbolic. He has good points like X, Y, and Z. And I got chastised by management about posting videos that kill morale. I'm a hater, apparently. This is news to me, because I have been so fucking positive following this game's existence, to the point where I made videos talking about it from literally day one announcement up until the point where we can put money down. I put money down, I backed it, I've talked nothing but good things outside of a few videos I think I've made where I'm asking where our communication is. Where I'm asking what the fuck is going on with the project. We haven't really heard much, where maybe we talk about some gameplay things and I'm like, you know, this kind of looks a little weird, this looks a little strange, but you know, we'll see what happens. Killing morale, guys. That is what these fucking developers, and not just Void Interactive, I've heard this sentiment so much. Maybe it's my tone, maybe it's the way that I point things out, but at the end of the day, I'm not here to be your fucking friend. I'm here to make sure that the game you make is a good goddamn game. But it's killing morale, fucking pussies. I'm not trying to shit talk Void here at all. I am. Now I am. Because I'm fucking pissed. He says they're incredibly talented people working there. The concept they have for the game is awesome, blah, 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 blah. Even looking at old screenshots of stuff we made, they were incredibly high quality, and I fucking agree. He says, one other thing. I'd probably ruin my reputation amongst game developers here for letting all of my skeletons out of the closet. But I want to re-emphasize that I want Void to succeed. We all do, dude. We all do. We have been saying that since day one. With that in mind, I have to turn to what is probably the worst, darkest part of this saga, and that's the money. I don't get paid a regular wage. I get paid only in commissions, but at the same time, commissions is a little weird. I'd love to get into that a little bit. At the same time, I'm not privy to know how many sales they've had or how much money is made. I have no idea if they're being truthful or not with the money that they owe me. So he gets a commission on sales of the game that they made through pre-orders. Now, I don't know how much Easy Street has been paid. I've heard numbers thrown around in the multi-million dollars in terms, not that what he's been paid, but what the developers have made off of pre-orders for this game. I'm not going to throw the number out there that I've actually heard. But let's just say the people that are sitting here saying they made a couple $100,000 in pre-orders are full of shit. These guys are easily, almost overnight, multi-millionaires. At least the company is. He says apparently neither do apartment complexes because I was blackballed from getting an apartment with Void money alone. The management refused to have an accountant certify that what I was getting was legitimate. The response I got was those complexes are stupid. So he had to stay in an extended hotel for 6 months until he could get a full-time job that paid him a real income. Pulling gigabytes of assets on hotel internet was not fun. In my opinion, they treated him like absolute trash. The only reason he had a somewhat stable income was because he sold some of his commission for a flat amount to while I'm still owed the rest of the money. They refused to sell it, citing a lack of funds. Again, I have no idea if this is true because I don't know how much money they have. Part of the contract stipulates that they can deny a sale for any reason. I'm confused on what's going on here, but it sounds like they're keeping money that is owed to him behind a closed door. He gets a commission on sales. See, this is why, like, when I do like a sponsorship opportunity where it's like, hey guys, click that link down below, I always follow up with the people and say, hey, I would love to have the numbers before we even enter into the agreements. I would love to have those numbers. So just for my sake, I would like to know how much money you guys are making off of that affiliate link. You know, even if I'm not getting like an affiliate payment, I just, for my own analytical mind, I would like to know that information. I would have never entered in an opportunity like this where you're getting paid off commissions and you can't track the sales. That's fucking crazy to me. He says he has no idea whether this was intentional or just a really bad error on their part, but they actually never signed anyone's contracts. This was the legal issues I alluded to for why the gameplay trailer was delayed. That and the scope was enormous. When everyone found out that their contract was never signed, there was a miniature strike for like a month. That and when they signed us on, the projected release date was November 2018, a topic for another day, but they didn't change anyone's commissions amount to match the increased amount when they delayed it until, obviously, we're in 2020 now. He says he thinks the most fucked up thing is that all the new hires that they brought in as of late 2019 are all paid and on fixed salaries, so the hell of living in a hotel is uniquely the experience of his. It sounds like baby's first company. And I'm being completely honest here, and it totally explains why this game is in the state that it's in. Because we have the most, in my opinion, the most important people for community engagement being told to stay off fucking public discords and Reddits. We have videos of mine being shared that apparently kill morale. We have people not signing contracts. We have a strike that went on for a month. You wonder why they're silent. There's always something in the silence. And we've been saying it for over a year. That when you go silent, It lets people's imaginations run wild with either the best shit or the worst shit. And if you don't try to control that narrative as like marketing people, as community people, you fuck yourselves. And this is where we're at. Easy Street, in my opinion, is one of the most important people to be involved with Void Interactive. And he hasn't been involved in months. We saw a PvP experience before any sort of PvE experience. I saw people suggesting that the reason we saw a PvP experience was because there was an investor on board that is looking at esports as the next big thing, and that's the way that people make their money. Let's get a multiplayer gameplay out, and let's see how people think about that, because that's how you get money. That's what esports is. That's what people want nowadays. And to be honest with you, I heard that and I said, you know what? Probably not. I can't see that. Maybe. Could be. After reading this thread.
Good evening and welcome to Tucker Carlson Tonight. We've spent months now assessing the coronavirus pandemic, mostly from a medical standpoint. We now know a lot more about the virus than we did back in March and February, and we're grateful for that. Facts are always better than speculation. But it's possible that in doing that, we've spent maybe too little time considering the rest of the country. The many millions of Americans who will never face serious health risks from this virus. So the question is, and we should be asking this a lot, how are they doing? Well, more than 30 million of them are now unemployed. 30 million. That is so many people that it's hard to digest what it means or what it's going to mean 5 years from now. For some context, that is double the job loss from the Great Recession of 2009. It took us 10 years to recover from. Many never did recover. In fact, the entire middle class never recovered. So how long will 30 million take? That's a terrifying question. In fact, it's too scary for many of our leaders to consider. It implicates their judgments, their policies. So they're determined to ignore that question, and they're even more determined that you ignore it too. You are absolutely not allowed to think about that, much less talk about it. How many times in the last week have you clicked on a video only to discover it has been deleted by YouTube, Google, because it criticized the people in charge? We've never seen anything like this in the history of our country. It used to be a free place. We bragged about it. But it's happening, and not just online. The police commissioner of New York announced this week that political protests have been banned in America's biggest city. How long have they been banned? Well, for as long as his boss, Bill de Blasio, says they're banned. So it could be a while. It's nice when voters aren't allowed to criticize you. As the commissioner explained, that's the law now. Quote, "These are laws that have been passed down through executive order." Yeah, got that? Passed through executive order. But wait, by definition, executive orders aren't passed. No legislature signs off on them. They're ordered. That's why they're orders. Whatever, details, shut up. You'd think some civil libertarian judge somewhere would do something about all of this. They're always inventing new rights for illegal aliens. Usually the right to free stuff at your expense, or a lot of those. Maybe we could get some of those rights too. But no, you're just an American. Do what you're told. Shelley Luther just learned that lesson in the hardest way. Luther owns a salon in the city of Dallas. In March, she closed her business. The government told her to. She lost all of her income when she shut it down because that's what our leaders demanded. And then she waited, and she waited, and she waited. And a month later, her business was still closed, and she was out of money. Finally, she decided she had no choice. Her back was against a wall. So on April 24th, she reopened her salon. The government warned her not to do that. They sent her a citation. She did it anyway.
Dallas salon owner Shelley Luther vowing to remain open in defiance of state orders, tearing up a citation she received.
I could be used as an example, or they'll go away, or I don't know. I'm not going to shut down.
I can be used as an example, Luther said. She was assuming that other business owners in Dallas might follow her lead. But the government took notice. They wanted her to be an example too, but in a very different way. Police arrested Luther. They dragged her before a Dallas County judge called Eric Moy. And that was Luther's bad luck. Moy is a deeply irresponsible person. He is a political hack. He's a self-described Democratic Party activist. He once circulated a chain letter denouncing Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas as a race traitor.
found a
Eric
bomb.
Moy
Make your
lectured
way to
Shelley
its
Luther
location
about
and defuse it.
how she was a bad person. Watch.
Your actions were selfish, putting your own interests ahead of those of the community in which you live. That they disrespected the executive orders of the state, the orders of the county, and this city.
What a pompous fool. But he's got a lot of power. He's a judge. And Shelley Luther was sitting before him. Luther, to her enormous credit, was not intimidated. Instead of groveling, apologizing, and begging forgiveness, which is what he wanted, she told the judge what was so obviously true. For people who don't have salaries that are guaranteed by taxpayers, this lockdown, as it continues, has been a catastrophe.
I have to disagree with you, sir, when you say that I'm selfish, because feeding my kids is not selfish. I have parents reloading because they'd rather feed their kids. So, sir, if you think the law is more important than kids, then please go ahead with your decision, but I'm not going to shut the salon.
Feeding my kids is not selfish. Moy was unmoved by this. He's not worried about feeding his kids. He went to Harvard Law School. A 2007 article in the Washington Post describes this man as someone, quote, with a weakness for Cuban cigars. As a judge, Moy has continued to collect a salary of about $150,000 throughout the shutdown. He could take that forever. He can afford all the finest steaks he wants, at least until meat supplies run out. Moy sentenced Luther to a week behind bars. So that's what's going on in Dallas tonight. Small business owners who are going under, these are people with employees who are struggling to buy food, are being punished for the crime of earning a living by authoritarian buffoons, goons, who are living off their tax dollars. How's that for an arrangement? Meanwhile, and this is the best part, actual criminals are going free. 3 weeks ago, the city of Dallas began releasing more than 1,000 inmates from the county jail. Some are in for serious felonies. Authorities said they had no choice. They had to.
The next day, December 31st, regional health officials in Wuhan indicated they were treating dozens of patients with an unknown viral pneumonia. And within days, Chinese officials detained Dr. Li and 7 others for spreading false statements on the internet. China saw then that it had an emerging public health crisis on its hands. They knew. China could have prevented the deaths of hundreds of thousands of people worldwide. China could have spared
Secure
the world
the area. Keep the bombs
descent into
protected.
global economic malaise. They had a choice, but instead China covered up the outbreak in Wuhan. The National Health Commission ordered virus samples destroyed on January 3rd. China disappeared brave Chinese citizens who raised alarms. It deployed its propaganda organs to denounce those who politely called for simple transparency. That brings us to today.
Op 4 has located a bomb. Be ready for assault.
China is still refusing to share the information.
Be advised, a bomb location has been compromised. 10 seconds.
Clinical specimens and details about many COVID-19 patients.
5 seconds and counting.
December 2019.
Activated. Op 4 has located a bomb. Get ready to engage.
Calls for transparency aren't about politics. It's not about bullying. It's not about blame. It's about the ongoing need to save American lives. This is an ongoing threat. Today, ask medical professionals in New York City. I think they'll agree with that. We need countries to share reliable data in a timely way. Now, next time a calamity like this hits, we need reliable partners. Swapping nuts! Understand the risks of doing business with Chinese Communist Party and taking action to protect their people. A few examples. In recent weeks, Nigeria, Kazakhstan, and France have demarched the Chinese Communist Party ambassadors for a whole host of lies and misdeeds. Spain has returned defective test kits made in China. That country, the Czech Republic, other nations have received shoddy PP as well. The Australian changing independent review into the outbreak. And my friend Dominic Raab has said that the United Kingdom can't go back to
A 25-year-old black man who was jogging in Brunswick, Georgia, was brutally gunned down by a former cop and his son. There was a third individual who was filming the incident, and the video was recently posted online. Now, unfortunately, the 25-year-old man has died as a result of this, what's now being referred to as a modern-day lynching. Ahmaud Arbery is his name. And to give you more detail and context before we show you this video, which is graphic and difficult to watch, I want to give fair warning. Ahmaud, 25 years old, was jogging in a neighborhood outside of Brunswick on February 23rd when a former police officer and his son chased him down. According to a Glenn County police report, Gregory McMichael, that's the former cop, later told officers that Arbery looked like a robbery suspect in a series of break-ins in the area. And even though this shooting took place months ago, it took place in February, no one was charged. It seems like the authorities just kind of let this slide until the video was released by a local radio show host. And finally, there was enough outrage that now officials are finally doing something about it. But I'll get to those details in just a moment. Before I do so, I'm going to go to the video. Again, this is graphic. It's difficult to watch. So if you have difficulty with these types of videos, just be warned. Now let's look.
Protect the bombs.
This will be fun.
So he bled out and died on the scene. And what we know is that there are some conflicts from what the shooter reported in the police report and what actually happened, what we saw in that video. So there's also an issue with the fact that Gregory McMichael, who was there at the scene, Travis McMichael is his son. He's the one who, was also seen in the video struggling with Ahmaud.
Bomb locations are secure.
But it seems like there were a lot of friendly relationships with Gregory McMichael because he actually worked with the prosecutors who should have been prosecuting this case from the very beginning. Now, those individuals have actually now recused themselves, which is exactly what they should have done, and an outside prosecutor has been brought in to investigate this case. His name is Tom Durden. And Durden, the district attorney for the Atlantic Judicial Circuit, wrote that he expects to present the case to the next available grand jury in Glenn County to consider whether charges are merited for those involved in the death. Now, I also want to just note that because of coronavirus, these grand jury proceedings are not taking place. They're prohibited, and they will not continue until round two. So, John, I have more details for you, but I want to just kind of get your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything that everyone is thinking as they're watching this video right now. It is absolutely, it's an utter tragedy what this person and now his family had to undergo. It is incomprehensible that in 2020, as a pandemic is bearing down on our country, some individuals, this is how they're spending their time, is trying to go out and murder someone. That it still happens, and then the response as well. You would think if there was anything that could unify everyone as in saying this is not acceptable, something like this would be, but no. I mean, for the most part, some people are going to cover this, and other sort of people are not going to talk about this at all because they know how bad it looks. And if they're forced to, they'll cover it in the same way that they covered, you know, Trayvon Martin and all of that. They made George Zimmerman into a hero eventually, like that guy with the shotgun, the guy with the pistol. You don't think that eventually they won't be considered like folk heroes on the right? It seems crazy now, but it's certainly not impossible. If there's any offense that they're taking, it's that we are accurately saying that was a modern day lynching. And the only difference between it and the traditional sort of lynching that generally people think of as happening a very, very long time ago, but actually continued much closer to modern day than a lot of people think, was that someone had a cell phone. That's the difference. That's the only difference. Extrajudicial action that a group took, advancing racial terrorism, and they shot him to death. That's what they did. They went out there to kill a person, and they did it. They didn't bring 2 guns because they wanted to spot the guy for law enforcement. They didn't run up on him holding a shotgun, like thinking that nothing was going to happen. They got what they wanted.
Yeah, look, these stories by themselves are hard to talk about, hard to watch, you know, especially with the videos that are available. And then what makes it even harder is the reaction after the fact, right? Not only from the general public, but also from the very prosecutors and law enforcement who are supposed to be carrying out justice. But as we've seen over and over again, that's certainly not always the case. What happened here is it's a crime. I mean, it is inhumane. They robbed someone, an innocent person, of his life as he was doing something incredibly innocent, something that we can all relate to, going out for a jog. His family says that he was an avid runner. He would run every single day, including in that neighborhood. And, you know, the reaction from authorities in the area, the initial reaction is just absolutely disgusting. So I'll give you some of that. So in a letter to police, George Barnhill, who has now recused himself, one of the district attorneys who had recused himself from the case and who saw the autopsy report wrote that Arbery sustained 3 wounds during the struggle for a gun. So already, you know, you have this individual trying to paint a picture that, oh, well, you know, he reached for the gun. You know, like that's usually the messaging you'll get when people want to justify this type of shooting. Now, usually it's in the context of someone who's an active cop. In this case, we're dealing with people who are not police, okay? Gregory McMichael used to be a cop, and the fact that he used to be a cop is exactly the reason why prosecutors didn't want to touch this case to begin with, right? Because we don't want to go after our friend. You know, so they started saying that, oh, well, you know, he said that it was a suspected burglar and that this was a citizen's arrest. And apparently they have some sort of law in the books in Georgia that allows for citizen's arrest. That wasn't a citizen's arrest. That was a murder. That was a murder. And I'm going to give you what the, you know, lawyer for the family has to say about that in just a second. But again, like, by the way, the same guy, Barnhill, started bringing up stuff that the victim here allegedly did in high school. Mm-hmm. Why are you bringing that up?
Of course.
Why are you bringing up his past? He was gunned down while he was shot. It's disgusting. So luckily he did located a bomb. In a letter, by the way, initially, Barnhill said that there was no probable cause for charges because the McMichaels were legally carrying their firearms under Georgia's open carry law. Oh, okay. So I didn't know that the open carry law extended to people being allowed to just gun down whoever they want. Is that what the open carry law in Georgia is?
I mean, I would say that if it allows for white individuals to that is exactly what it was designed to accomplish. They won't admit it, but that is exactly 100% what it was designed to accomplish. You grab a shotgun and a pistol, you drive up on a person who's just going about their business, you get in their face, and if they run, they're getting away. I would say if they do the only natural thing is when someone points a gun at you, you either try to run away or you try to get it pointed away from you. And so if you reach for it, no, then they're completely justified. That's why they brought the gun. If he was afraid for his life, like, oh my god, this guy is grabbing for my gun, I know a great way to never have to worry about a person taking your gun and using it on you. Don't buy one or don't bring it. That would be a great way to do it. But like I said on TDR this morning, this individual and George Zimmerman, they carry a gun with them to provide not just a tool to murder someone, but also the excuse to murder someone. Because as soon as you start a fight, when you're carrying a gun, If their hand goes within 5 feet of you, you get to say they were reaching for your gun. It is both the tool and the excuse for murder.
The fact that nothing would have been done unless that video came out, unless it was posted online, is just devastating. And Barnhill isn't the only person who recused himself. Brunswick Judicial Circuit District Attorney Jackie Johnson also recused herself from the case and said it was given to the Whitecross Judicial Circuit District Attorney George Barnhill. So that's where it first started. Then it went to Barnhill, and then Barnhill had to recuse himself. Now, Johnson says Johnson recused himself because his son works in the Brunswick prosecutor's office. Tom Durden is the prosecutor for the Atlantic Judicial Circuit. He's now the independent individual who will be prosecuting this case. But the fact that we're going to have to now wait until June to see if a grand jury in Georgia decides whether that's enough evidence to bring charges is also terrifying, because we've seen how these types of cases have played out in the past, these grand jury cases, where somehow miraculously, despite the abundance of evidence of wrongdoing, nothing ends up happening. And I don't mean to be too pessimistic, but like, at what point are we finally going to accept the fact that this is America, right? Like, this isn't an isolated case. This isn't just part of Trump's America, although I think it's been exacerbated thanks to his disgusting vitriol and rhetoric. But we need to accept the fact that these types of stories were popping up all over the place during the Obama administration. Constantly. You know, you can have endless videos of black men running away from cops, and the cop guns that person down, kills them, shoots them in the back. Grand jury says, nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong here.
Yep. And, you know, you might have hoped, well, if there was video, it'd be different. But no, it almost never matters. Even when you can see exactly what happened. It happens in no danger whatsoever. It almost never.
And think about how differently this innocent 25-year-old man was treated compared to all of these armed protesters storming into the Michigan State Capitol, okay, yelling at lawmakers.
We haven't won yet.
As they try to decide whether it's in the public's interest to extend the stay-at-home orders in response to the pandemic. They're not, I mean, you have the cops protecting them as they are attempting to intimidate lawmakers as they're trying to make a decision that matters, right? That has a huge impact on public safety and public health. No problem with that. You'll have endless conservative shows defending that. I guarantee you those same shows will then turn around and make excuses for what we just saw in that disgusting video.
There's like at least a 25% chance that Tucker Carlson does 30 minutes on why it's insane that these actually racist libs are talking about this as a lynching. Like, there's a very real chance that he's gonna do that tonight. And they're gonna attempt to say, like, yeah, when these two guys grabbed guns and drove up on him and shoved the guns in his face, started yelling at him, he should have just complied with whatever they did. Because again, if you're black, you're just supposed to comply with whatever anybody tells you to do. And anything that you do other than fully complying, or even if you do, is justification for your murder. They will say that him running was naturally more suspicious and threatening than the two individuals that pulled a car up on someone, jumped out, and pointed guns at them. And like, they would never admit it, but like, imagine if it was reversed. Imagine if the guy jogging was a southern white middle-aged guy with a beer gut, and he's running down the street, and two Ahmads pull up the car right next to him, jump out with shotguns. If he responds in any way other than doing everything that they say, will the conservatives say, oh, no, he totally should have just complied with their citizens arresting? That they had a suspicion that he was a thief. He should have just done whatever they said. Of course not. Of course not. It is every molecule of this is soaked in racism and racial assumptions and white privilege and all of that. And not only will they not admit that in this case, obviously this guy was totally innocent. But they'll deny that there's any racial component to it, because of course racism doesn't exist in America.
And finally, just because I promised you all to give you a statement from the family attorney here, Lee Merritt says the following. It's important to know what the law actually is in Georgia. According to the law, the citizen's arrest law, you actually have to be observing the crime or be in the immediate knowledge of the crime. The only thing they have ever said is that Ahmaud stopped by a house that was under construction and looked through the window. We don't know if that happened or not, but even if it did happen, that is not a felony. That would invoke the Citizens Arrest Statute. That's not a felony that would invoke the Citizens Arrest Statute that would make this allowable. There's no question. What the lawyer is saying here is 100% correct. And can you imagine that, you looking into a building that's being constructed as justification for getting gunned down? I've done that a billion times.
Yeah.
Because I'm interested in architecture, I'm interested in whatever. Right? How is that justification for gunning someone down?
No, it's not even justification for going up to the guy and hassling him. It is obviously not justification for murder.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. I really appreciate it. Another way to show.
Hey everyone. Donald Trump. Mayor Bill de Blasio from New York has indicated that New Yorkers can only be outdoors if they are wearing masks, and he has donated a significant number of masks to the people living in all the boroughs. But unfortunately, not everyone will follow these rules or the social distancing guidelines. And when you have an issue of police brutality in New York City, which we all know has been the case for a long time now, unfortunately, there is a recipe for disaster. And that is what we're seeing with a few of the viral videos online, including one featuring a police officer who has a history of police brutality accusations against him. The city has actually spent thousands of dollars in order to pay for settlements involving this officer. His name is Francisco Garcia. And in the latest example, we see Francisco Garcia showing what kind of police brutality he gets engaged in. Now, let me give you the details on what you're about to see on video, just to give you context. The man who is apprehended by the cops in this video and treated brutally is Donnie Wright. He's 33 years old, and one of the 3 people arrested during this encounter. He was charged with assault on a police officer, resisting arrest, menacing, and 2 counts of disorderly conduct. Okay, so those are serious charges. You should know what the consequences were for him. But I want you to take a look at this video and see what the scene was like and ask yourself whether or not this was the appropriate way for Officer Garcia to handle it. Take a look.
What's going on? I didn't do nothing. Don't tell me about that. Move back.
Move the back. What are you flexing for? Don't flex. Why you lost no too? Look. He ain't even do nothing. He ain't even do nothing. Look. He ain't even do nothing. He ain't even do nothing. I got all that. He got all that. That's right.
Jeez, so look, we can't see what's happening off camera, but we do see that the officer is approaching what sounds like a group of people while brandishing a taser. At that point, the cop gets physical with Donnie Wright and throws him to the ground. And you can also see that he puts his knee on the back of Donnie Wright's neck, which is incredibly dangerous. He could have easily killed him in that way, either by suffocating him or snapping his neck. And even the police union in this case found that video to be an issue, did not agree with the tactics that Garcia was using there. And once you read about the history with Garcia, you understand what type of violence he resorts to immediately when he should be de-escalating a situation.
Okay, we're going to get to the contrast of how they dealt with white New Yorkers instead in a second, which, if you're not already enraged, will send you, I hope, if you're a caring person, into not into a rage, but into action to fight this injustice that happens so regularly. It's just, it's demoralizing. So, okay, the ostensible reason for this is you guys aren't wearing masks. Well, first of all, the cops aren't wearing masks. So how does that help? And okay, you need to be social distancing. So we're going to tackle you and we're going to punch you in the face so you can have better health. Really, that makes sense? And you guys saw enough of that video to see why he threw that guy down. It didn't have anything to do with coronavirus or social distancing or masks. Garcia didn't have a mask on. No, why you flexing? What does that mean? You're disrespecting me. And biggest crime in America, it's in no law book at all. But if you say anything that slightly upsets a police officer, he will assault you, he will do a false arrest on you, and he might endanger your life. So that's what happened there. Now, if they did that to everybody, it would be outrageous. But what's worse is they only do it to blacks and Latinos. The fact that Garcia's Latino doesn't make any difference at all. The question is, what are the orders from top down? What is the culture that is created from top down in the NYPD and so many other police departments across this country? You think they're going to do that to anybody on Wall Street? Wall Street's in the same damn city. You think they're going to do it to anyone? Are you kidding me? Garcia would wet himself. He would soil himself at the idea of doing that to a banker. Because you know what would happen? It wouldn't take 7 infractions. The minute he even looked at a banker the wrong way, he'd be fired. So it's disgusting what happens. Wait till you see the pictures.
So before I get to the pictures, I do want to give you the response from police officials. He has had his badge and gun taken away pending an investigation, and he's it sounds like they've given him like desk duty. But part of the reason why I believe they finally acted here is because, again, Garcia does have a history with brutality. So for instance, according to a complaint that was filed back in 2013, Garcia allegedly told a woman eating with her partner inside a Harlem restaurant that she dressed like a man, and then later called her a gay slur. A year later, Garcia was accused of wrongfully arresting a man trying to visit his girlfriend inside a Washington Heights building. According to a federal lawsuit, which the city settled for $27,500, Garcia forced the man to the floor face first, then punched, kicked, and clubbed him. Okay. By the way, in the first case that I told you about, the city had to settle for $8,500. Now, a police spokeswoman, Sergeant Mary Frances O'Donnell, said in a statement that Wright, the victim here, took a fighting stance against the officer when he was ordered to disperse, and that he was arrested and charged. And I told you what his charges were. Also, 3 people were arrested in that dust-up, including 2 guys taken down by the New York Police Department, as well as a woman who allegedly had her own stun gun. And by the way, Garcia is alleging that the stun gun that he was brandishing was not his. I'm not sure if I necessarily believe that. That has not been confirmed, but that's what he's alleging. And this is what we're dealing with. I mean, we know that New York City has had a problem with police brutality, and unfortunately now they've been given, in their minds, a green light to enforce these social distancing guidelines and the mask guidelines as viciously as they have been towards some members of the community. Now I want to fast forward to what we're hearing from the public advocate in New York. He's tweeted the following. There were pictures of parks, for instance, that were full of people, many of whom were white, and didn't seem like that was an issue for anyone. Many of them are not wearing masks. But he also posted some imagery of how black and brown people are being treated in New York City. He says, I don't know specifics of each picture. I do know we all must abide by social distancing rules. Too many people aren't, and it's problematic. Many warned. New York City mayor about relying so heavily on the New York Police Department. There's been no response to a request for summons/arrest demographic data. But based on what we've seen in some of these viral videos, it seems like a lot of the emphasis is on certain neighborhoods as opposed to others where people are obviously not following these social distancing guidelines.
So look, it's partly about race, partly about class. So in the richer parts of town, people are not social distancing. You see it in the pictures. They're all jammed together in a park. A, nothing happens. B, cops come by and politely give them masks. In the poorer parts of town, the social distancing is not as bad, right? Like they're not as clumped together as they are in the richer part of town. Who cares? They get ass kickings anyway. Did Garcia look like he was politely handing out masks to them? No. Impolitely handing out assault, one after another after another. Why? Because far too many cops in this country, including in the NYPD, and yes, de Blasio has been trying to change it, but the NYPD has been fighting him tooth and nail every single year. No, we like to have fun. We're the biggest gang in New York, and we like to assault people. And we do it for a living. Now, we'll never do it to white rich people. Never, ever, ever, because we value our jobs. And you think that if they go around kicking the ass of bankers or people on the Upper East Side or by, Park Avenue, that they're going to get an $8,000 settlement? No. A wealthy guy working in finance or anything else like that, if a cop did that to him, what Garcia's done to countless people, they'd get an $800,000 settlement. They'd get an $8 million settlement. They'd be like, oh, can you believe what has happened to me? And by the way, they would deserve it, and it shouldn't happen to them. But the problem is blacks and Latinos in this country are invisible. So if it happens to a rich person, it'll be giant headline news. When it happens to poor minorities every single day in this country, invisible. Don't care. The band plays on. So, okay, finally, Garcia's taken off duty for a little while, and let's see what happens with it. But they're not. Yeah. The disparity is endless and infuriating.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. We really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member.
There have been a number of anti-stay-at-home protests throughout the country, many of which have been organized by right-wing groups who have a financial incentive to prematurely open the country back up. Now, unfortunately, based on what we're hearing from the FBI, one of the organizers of an anti-stay-at-home protest in Colorado was found to be stocking away pipe bombs in his home. A 53-year-old man is now facing federal charges after the FBI found 4 pipe bombs in his home, including other materials to create additional pipe bombs. Bradley Bunn apparently caught the attention of authorities when he was promoting a May 1st armed rally against Colorado's stay-at-home order on social media. In the days leading up to the protest, according to reports, investigators discovered social media posts described as angry and aggressive. Soon after, investigators received information that he was in possession of pipe bombs. Bunn was arrested before he could attend the rally, luckily. Now, here are the pictures that the FBI has released to show the evidence that they found. This is one of the pipe bombs that they discovered. And he did give a few hints on social media, and I think that's the reason why the FBI was alerted to his behavior. So, for instance, on Bunn's Facebook page, there's a seal that reads, "When tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty." In a post, Bunn also stated he might not live much longer, which is pretty terrifying, especially with what this country's experienced with shootings and usually what happens to the perpetrator in those shootings. But his daughter came forward and said that she was actually happy that he was arrested because she felt that, you know, this is the best way to keep other people safe, of course, but also to keep him safe. He apparently was in the military, was dishonorably discharged. We don't have too many details on that, but clearly his time in the military had a negative impact on his mental health.
Yeah, well, whatever there was of it before. So, hey, surprise, another right-wing terrorist. Almost every terrorist arrested in this country in the last 2 years has been a white right-wing terrorist. Almost every single one. That's according to the FBI, that's according to the ADL, and everyone who tracks it. So, should we start profiling white people? Of course not. But maybe we should stop profiling other races that aren't doing it. They're just not. And so, under Trump, there's been a giant rise in white right-wing terrorism. And Are they treated as terrorists? Does the press talk about it as if, oh my God, we gotta be careful. There's all these right-wing terrorists running around. No. Oh yeah, okay, so another right-winger wanted to blow people up and kill them with bombs. Not a big deal. But Muslim does it. Oh my God, this whole world is in big trouble. Muslims are irredeemably violent, on and with this crap. So, and it's not just about ethnicity. It's definitely about the politics. So, when the left wing does a protest, maybe the states literally consider laws sanctioning running them over with your vehicle and killing them. Okay, and they talked about arresting them, and then they started trying to pass laws where if a protester talked to anyone else, but that person that they talked to didn't even go to the protest, they're like, arrest them, which is just about the most unconstitutional thing you could imagine. Now, is there a big push to arrest anyone that these right-wing terrorists has talked to before they went and did what they did? Nope. Because there's right-wing privilege. Right-wing privilege. The minute you do anything to criticize them, they cry and cry. Oh, you can't say that about the right wing. We can say anything we want about black people. We can say anything we want about Muslims. You can say anything you want about Antifa. You can say anything you want about left-wingers. Oh my God, they're protesting oil pipelines. That's going to leak into our water and damage our kids. Monsters, run them over with your car, kill them. Who cares? Oh, poor right-wing terrorists pointing weapons against legislators in Michigan, going and raiding the Capitol. Poor right-wing Bundy guys pointing weapons at cops threatening to murder them. Poor right-winger who's going to do a pipe bomb and kill all these people in the middle of coronavirus. No, you can't talk about it. We can talk about it. Those are the real terrorists in this country. And by the way, read history. That is the history of America. The terrorists in this country have overwhelmingly been white right-wingers. You know who fits that description to a T? The Klan, the biggest terrorist this country has ever seen. So throughout its entire existence, all we've had is monsters like this, either threatening to kill us or actually killing us and lynching us. But what does the media do? Oh, it's the brown people. It's black people, it's Latinos, it's Muslims. Oh, poor white right-wingers. No. They're patriotic Americans. Don't tread on me. Patriots, my ass. That guy's a criminal. Should spend the rest of his life in jail. If there's going to be a Guantanamo Bay, he should be in it. And FBI, credit where credit is due. Excellent job in apprehending him before he killed him.
I wanted to share a story with you that I think is incredibly important for you to know about, but unfortunately we didn't have enough time in our rundown to include it in the show today. So recently there was an important Trump administration official, more importantly an HHS official, who decided to step down and no longer work for the administration. Now, what initially happened was the Trump administration attempted to demote him to a role where he wouldn't have much of the power that he previously had. And this is an actual expert, an actual professional. There are luckily still some adults left in the room when it comes to the Trump administration. But this individual was pushed out because he had raised some concerns about the Trump administration promoting the use of hydroxychloroquine as a treatment for COVID-19. Now, we had reported on the first part of this story. His name is Dr. Rick Bright. And after he stepped down, he actually filed a formal whistleblower complaint. And in that complaint, we're now learning of some of the other wrongdoings of the Trump administration in response to COVID-19. Now, this is devastating because it's yet another example of Trump administration officials being warned early this year, in January, that the coronavirus was significant, it was severe, and it was something that the government absolutely needed to start preparing for. But as Dr. Bright reports in his whistleblower claim, Alex Azar, who's the head of Health and Human Services, did not want to do anything about it. He was alerted about this in January. And we're also learning that both Dr. Bright and Peter Navarro, who's Donald Trump's trade advisor, were urging Trump administration officials to do simple things like stockpile remdesivir, which is now being used in emergency cases, for people who are suffering from COVID-19 and absolutely need treatment, you know, there really hasn't been any other effective solution so far, and we also know that the development for a vaccine has not yielded the results that we've been hoping for. Now, Navarro and Bright also warned that any shipments of medical supplies to other countries in February needed to stop immediately. But the Trump administration still went ahead in early February.
Come on, man!
One friendly operator remaining.
You will know you're reborn tonight. Must be right, but I'll stay by your side. Even if my body bleeds to the bones, I don't want to go through that ever again. So kind of low, all minded out. Go ahead and go and find me now. You want it warm, a rising star. You got a spot to hold, yeah, God. Don't you think about me enough? I've been burning my heart out. Got to face, need to tell you.
Exporting a video, gaming in 1080p at 60 FPS. I like 7 tabs open. Firefox, I have YouTube open, I have the music out.
Locate a bomb.
It's not struggling at all. So at least that's what it's like when it's open, there's people inside.
Be advised your drone has located a bomb.
You will know you're reborn tonight. Must be right, but I'll stay by your side. Even if my body bleeds to
last operator standing.